Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Ashraf. So today I will be presenting chapter 6, Foundation of Business Intelligence, Database and Information Management. So I will be covering subtopic 6.2, what are major capabilities of DBMS and why is a relational DBMS is so powerful. So a database management system is DBMS is a software that acts as an interface between application programs and the data files, separates the logical view of the database, how the data is perceived by end users, and the physical view of how the data is actually organized on storage media. It also allows different logical views of different users. DBMS also helps to reduce data redundancy and eliminate data inconsistency by allowing a central shared data source. So we can see from the figure of database management system, a single human resources database provides many different views of data depending on the information requirements of the user. Illustrated here are two possible views, one of interest to a benefit specialist and one of interest to a member of the company's payroll department. So as we can see from the figure, DBMS store the human resource database and it will provide it to the table benefit views and also to the table payroll view. Now we will see relational DBMS. A relational DBMS such as Microsoft SQL Server or MySQL represents data as two-dimensional tables called relations. Each table consists of a grid of columns and rows of data. Each row is a record or tuple divided by columns into separate fields for that record. One column in each table acts as a primary key, defining for each record a key field that is used to uniquely identify each record. Relational database use primary keys to connect records from one table to other tables. When a primary key from one table is used in second table to locate or look up records from the first table, it is called a foreign key. As we can see from this relational database table, a relational database organizes data in the form of two-dimensional tables. Illustrated here are tables for the entities, supplier and part, showing how they represent each entity and its attributes. Supplier number is a primary key for the supplier table and a foreign key for the part table. So we can see at the key field primary key supplier number. So in the supplier table, so in the purple table, part table, the supplier number is the foreign key, so it will connect to each other from the table. In a relational database, three operations are used to develop sets of data. One is select, creates a subset of data of records that meet stated criteria. Join, combines relational data from different tables. And lastly, project, which creates a subset of a table using only specified columns. DBMS includes capabilities and tools for accessing and managing data in a database, including data definition language or capability, used to specify the structure of the database content, creating and defining tables and fields. Data dictionary and automated or manual file that stores definitions of data elements and their characteristics. And lastly, data manipulation language, a specialized language such as structured query language or SQL that is used to add, change, delete, and retrieve the data in the database. An entity relationship diagram is used to diagram a data model and describe the relationships between different groups of data in the system. Without an appropriate data model for its database, a database system will not be able to serve a business effectively. So, as we can see from the table, the supplier is supplied by part, and the part provides the data for the supplier. So different table is connected to each other. Database design also considers how the data are to be distributed with a centralized database or with a distributed database. Data that is stored in more than one physical location. There are two main methods of distributing a database. First one is partition, which is different parts of the database are stored in separate locations. And second is replicated. The database is duplicated at all locations. So these are the two methods of distributing a database. So that's all for topic 6.2.